Hello and welcome to the special broadcast on the FIFA World Cup 2026 right here on DD India. The road to the quarterfinals is now complete and Argentina produced one of the greatest World Cup comebacks, defeating Egypt 3-2 in a breathtaking round of 16 thriller, while Switzerland edged past Colombia in a dramatic penalty shootout to seal the berth for the quarterfinals. The blockbuster quarterfinal lineup is now set: France versus Morocco, Spain versus Belgium, Norway versus England, and Argentina versus Switzerland. Stay with us for the complete FIFA World Cup 2026 highlights, match analysis, biggest talking points, tactical breakdowns, controversial moments, and all the latest news from the world's biggest football tournament. So let's get started. Argentina produced one of the greatest comebacks in the FIFA World Cup history, defeating Egypt 3-2 to book their place in the quarterfinals after a dramatic round of 16 clash. Egypt stunned the defending champions by taking a two-goal lead through Yasser Ibrahim in the 15th minute and Mostafa Zizou in the 67th minute. Argentina's hopes suffered setback when Lionel Messi missed an early penalty, leaving the South Americans staring at elimination. With just over 10 minutes remaining, Argentina launched an extraordinary fight back. Christian Romero pulled one back in the 79th minute before Lionel Messi leveled score 5 minutes later with a brilliant finish. Deep into the stoppage time, Enzo Fernandez headed home the winner from Lautaro Martinez's cross, completing an unforgettable 3-2 turnaround, sending Argentina into last eight. The thrilling contest ended amid controversy as Egypt's camp strongly protested several refereeing decisions, claiming their team had suffered an injustice. Despite the post-match debate, Argentina's remarkable comeback kept their World Cup dream alive. They will now face Switzerland in the quarterfinals after Swiss edged Colombia in a penalty shootout. One of the remarkable comebacks in the footballing history, Argentina was 2-0 down and they scored 3 goals when around 10 minutes were remaining. A remarkable performance by Argentina. And joining us on DD India's FIFA World Cup 2026 special broadcast, senior sports journalist Mala Nirav. As we break down the biggest stories from the dramatic round of 16, we analyze Argentina's stunning 3-2 comeback victory over Egypt, Switzerland's nerve-wracking penalty shootout win against Colombia, major talking points and controversies, and look ahead to the blockbuster quarterfinal lineup. We are also joined by DD India correspondent Gaurav Kumar. Welcome both of you. First, coming to you, Malay, a very warm welcome. Outstanding matches are taking place. But yesterday's match, that Argentina versus Egypt, first we will talk about that. Malay, apart from the match, the controversial thing that erupted, Egypt coach Hossam Hassan has made some serious allegation after Egypt's defeat. He says his team was treated unfairly, questioned the credibility of some decisions, and even suggested that there was pressure to keep defending champions in the tournament. How do you view these remarks? Are they simply emotions of a disappointed coach, or they raise legitimate question about the officiating?
Watching the match, and such emotional outbursts are pretty common. You know, at the end of the day, look at this match. This match had everything: a penalty save, a disallowed goal, a red card, and a massive, massive work as a thrilling comeback that came from there. Now, when you look at all this in a perspective, there's no doubt about the fact that the Egyptians were playing extremely well. They had pushed the Argentina to the edge. There's no doubt about that. But once the goal came, you know, the 12 minutes time, normal time was left, and once the goal came, the controversy started when a goal was disallowed. And that was where they thought that the foul or the mistake done by the Egyptian player was not so harsh. It doesn't deserve such a harsh punishment. Well, that could be a very, very subjective view of a particular side. See, the thing is, you're holding somebody by his collars, or you are just climbing on the toe of the player, and then you say it was not enough. for a goal to be disqualified. I mean, that could be your outlook. But then again, don't blame the referee if you have done something wrong. See, that is the bottom line. Now, if you talk about the other decisions of the referee in the current FIFA 2026, then of course the charges have been made that despite the fact that the FIFA had assured that minor issues here and there will be ignored, how was it that it was done? And the charge is a very, 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 very I don't find it acceptable when you say that it was for Messi and for
Right.
Argentina that you wanted this to happen. So, my own take on this is that Egypt were playing very well, but once the first goal came from Argentina, they could have still defended, kept the momentum on. But I think that they got nervous. And after the second one came, the quick substitutions, the kind of chinks in the defense that you saw
Right.
there, I mean, all that made it imperative that Argentina was clearly the winner.
Rightly, as you mentioned, that it is not good to blame the referee to decisions, because these minor thing happens in every match, and for your defeat you cannot blame the whole system. And Argentina played fantastic football after the first goal they did. So we are also joined by Gaurav, the senior correspondent in DD India. Gaurav, if you take a look at the first half, Argentina didn't look quite like the defending champions. 2 goals from the Egypt. There were several defensive lapses, lack of coordination at the back, and Egypt capitalized those mistakes. So in your view, do you think there was lack of intent from the Argentine side in the first half of the game? Is it better to call for the 3 quarters? So what's your take on it, Gaurav?
Well, Narayan, if we to the match, yes, first on the first half, what we have seen that the Egyptian was very much high, and their potential were very much high, and Argentinians were at the backside. But what the difference is out there, that as the match grew up, the Argentinians have come back in a very good manner, and as far as Messi is concerned, the way he just flew his magic in the match, that was something went very harsh to the Egyptian side. So we can say that in the first half, what we have seen, that there was a little bit, he was not truly fitting in the teams, and they were really out from the contrast. That what we have seen, that Messi missed the penalty because he was not totally at that point. He was not confident, very much confident, and the show was brilliantly saved by the Egyptian goalkeeper. That was
Right.
superb saver for that time. But we all what can we say, that this the Argentine side that has shown that they have a capability of not relying only on one player. Because they have done as a team, and as a team they have done a great job in this match, and
Right.
that what we have seen in the last 32 match also. So this is the very important part of this team, that this team has a Lautaro Martinez, this has Lisandro Martinez, this has Thiago Almada. So all these players are playing their key role to build up the strength of this team, and that's what we have seen in yesterday match.
So there are many players. The team is playing like a team, and that's why the Argentina is here. Malay, I want to ask one question. We saw that the teams from the Africa are doing excellent job in this World Cup, but towards the end of the match, we saw in the previous match where Senegal were leading 2-0 against Belgium, and 4 or 5 minutes were left, and they lost the plot and Belgium won. And same here, the Egypt were playing great. So this brings a point that there is something fragile about this team. When it comes the important moment of the match, they lost their, we can say, the control of emotions. So it is the matter of concern for these teams.
Control of nerves, as well as, I should say, maintaining the momentum. It is very important that you keep the momentum going and you don't succumb to such pressures which are created. For example, if you look at what happened in the match against Cape Verde, they were doing very well. They had also pushed Argentina to the edge. And now here also you see the same thing happening. This, and if you're able to get over that, then you become Morocco. You don't remain Senegal or don't remain Cape Verde. You have to get over that. You have to fight it out. You have to believe in yourself. That is what is very important. And that is what will come through experience. Now, the fact that Africa is making a very significant presence in this FIFA World Cup in itself is a shot in the arm for all the African teams. They can now dream of winning. And that is what is the more important. So when they go back from FIFA 2026, all these African teams will be thinking about how to maintain the momentum, how to control their nerves, and how to ensure that you do not miss chances. Because when opportunities and chances come your way and you miss it, it's gone.
Right.
You've lost.
As you mentioned that you should maintain the momentum and you should just capitalize the key moments, the moments that are coming on your path. And Malay and Gaurav, you remain with us. Again, we will come to you to discuss the other matches also. Now, the other match, that is Switzerland, have reached the FIFA World Cup quarterfinals after beating Colombia 4-3 in a penalty shootout following a goalless draw after extra time. The round of 16 match remained scoreless for 120 minutes, with both teams creating a few clear chances. Colombia came closest when John Lickman's header hit the crossbar, while Jemiton Campos forced a good save from Swiss goalkeeper Gregor Kobel. Campas also missed a golden chance late in extra time, curling his shot over the bar. The match was decided on penalties. Colombia's Davinson Sanchez hit the crossbar, while Switzerland's Manuel Akanji also missed to keep the contest level. The turning point came when goalkeeper Gregor Kobel made a brilliant save to deny Cucho Hernandez, Granit Xhaka, Zeki Amoduni, Cedric Etienne and Ruben Vargas all converted their penalties to seal a 4-3 shootout victory for Switzerland. The Swiss have reached the World Cup quarterfinals for the first time since 1954 and will now face defending champions Argentina. Malay, Colombia were the favourites to win this match, but Switzerland's, what a performance. How do you analyze Switzerland's this performance and the road ahead for this team as they will face defending champions Argentina in quarterfinals?
Well, Switzerland reached their first World Cup quarterfinals since 1954 after a repeated round of 16 exits in the recent editions. They were trying their best to match the best. And, you know, one more thing that I think we must not forget is Kobel was the match-defining figure. In open play, he made the early save from Puerta in the shootout. His stop from Cucho Hernandez shifted the tie decisively towards Switzerland. Now, Colombia's defensive tournament ended with one more clean sheet, but no reward. And that was because they again did not capitalize on the opportunities which came their way. And that is where they were not able to convert those opportunities and chances into goals. That was true of Switzerland also. But then don't forget that Juan Manzambi was not playing, and that was a big blow for Switzerland. And still they have come up and they have shown that they have got the guts and they have got the grit and they have got the determination, because Vargas, when he delivered the pressure moment, that is where the team as a team makes all the difference.
So, as you mentioned, of great performance by the Swiss team here, but the tough road ahead as they will face Argentina in the quarterfinals. Now we move to the next story, that a quarterfinals lineup. Again, we will discuss the quarterfinal lineup with both of you. A place in the FIFA World Cup 2026 semifinals will be on the line when France take on Morocco in a mouth-watering quarterfinal clash. France will aiming to continue their title charge, while Morocco will look to extend their remarkable run and create more history on the world stage. France have lived up to the expectation with another impressive World Cup campaign. Les Blues secured their place in the quarterfinals after a hard-fought 1-0 victory over Paraguay, following a convincing 3-0 win against Sweden in the round of 32, led by Kylian Mbappe. France have shown a fine balance of attacking flair and defensive solidity. With experience, quality and depth across the squad, they will start the match as one of the favourites to progress. Meanwhile, Morocco have once again proved why they are among the most dangerous teams in the tournaments. The Atlas Lions stunned the Netherlands in a penalty shootout in the round of 32 before producing a commanding 3-0 victory over Canada to book their place in the last stage. Well organized in defense and quick on the counter-attack, Morocco will be eager to upset another football powerhouse and move one step closer to a historic place in the semi-finals. Welcome back, both of you. Gaurav, if you talk about this contest, France versus Morocco, one of the most mouth-watering contests of this World Cup. So, how you look this Moroccan team? Last time they were in the semi-finals, and this time again they are facing the same team at the quarterfinals, who just make them out of the tournament in the last. So, what is the key aspect of this team, Morocco?
Well, then, if we talk about the Moroccans, they have a strength of coming back. They are physically very fit, and when they attack and we go togetherness, that makes a big difference between these two sides. And if we talk about in this World Cup, they have shown that ability, because if we talk about of a round of 32 match against Netherlands, what we have seen that in the last minute Moroccans have come back and shown their power and they defeated Netherlands. Their defense is very much strong. The part of attack side, the attackers, the defenders, all are in a one lineup, and the unity of the team is the most powerful thing of this team. But if we talk about on the other side, the France, they have a depth in their lineup. They have Michael Ollis, who is leading in assistance. They have Kylian Mbappe, as we all know that he had 19 goals, and then Ousmane Dembélé, who has also registered a hat-trick. So all in all, it will be going to be a good tie between these two countries.
Going to be a great match between these two great countries, because we know that what kind of performance Morocco is delivering in the World Cup, previous World Cup. Malay, talking about this French team, can anyone stop them?
Well, I would take it the other way around. Is Morocco now strong enough to turn the 2022 moral victory into a 2026 knockout win? That is the question. Because so far as France is concerned, France had a very smooth path so far, while Morocco arrived with momentum after going unbeaten through a difficult group and then beating Canada 3-0. The tactical question is whether Morocco can unsettle France in transition and stop the French from front line from settling into rhythm. That is the important question. Also, Narayan, don't forget, we keep saying that individuals don't make a difference, but we have seen time and again how individuals make a difference. You have seen Messi making a difference. You have seen, we've got used to see Mbappe making the difference. We have now seen Holland making the difference. So if Mbappe is there, there's a moral kind of a support which comes for the team, where the individuals do matter, because when you have somebody to look forward to, who has been a winner and who has been checked by all the teams time and again, because he is supposed to be the biggest threat, that is where the Moroccans will have a little bit of a problem. However, don't forget that Moroccans have been very, very strong. They are very strong, and they can be seen as a formidable challenge. But as our friend was telling you there, the French team has not got only Mbappe. It has got several other stars.
Right.
Now, there's reported injury concern to Aurelien, and for France, and Ismail Saibari for Morocco. Now, the absence of these two players could be a problem for either of the teams.
Rightly mentioned, because they have many key players, as you mentioned, that Chumani is an injury concern for, because we know that he is a great midfielder. If he gets injured, definitely it's a big setback for this French team. Thanks Malay, thanks Gaurav for joining us and giving a wonderful perspective of the World Cup matches. Now moving to the other matches of the quarterfinal, defending champions Argentina take on Switzerland in a blockbuster FIFA World Cup 2026 quarterfinal with a place in the last four at stake. Argentina head into the contest on the back of a sensational 3-2 comeback victory over Egypt in the round of 16, overturning a 2-goal deficit in the closing stages to underline their resilience and championship mentality. Lionel Messi once again inspired the fight back, while late heroics have further strengthened Argentina's belief. Switzerland, meanwhile, reached their first World Cup quarterfinal since 1954 after edging Colombia 4-3 in a tense penalty shootout following a goalless 120 minutes. Goalkeeper Grigor Kobel starred in the shootout, while Murat Yakin's disciplined side has built a campaign on defensive organization and composure under pressure. Meanwhile, Norway will take on England in a fascinating FIFA World Cup 2026 quarterfinal after both sides produced memorable round of 16 victories. Norway stunned five-time champions Brazil 2-1, with Erling Haaland scoring twice to seal a famous win. England, meanwhile, overcame Mexico 3-2 in a thrilling encounter to keep their title hopes alive. Norway will look to build on their fearless attack approach, while England will rely on their experience, creativity and squad depth. With both teams full of confidence, the battle for a place in the semi-final promises to be one of the highlights of the tournament. And Spain versus Belgium are set to the blockbuster FIFA World Cup 2026 quarterfinal with a place in the last four at stake. Spain booked their spot after a dramatic 1-0 victory over Portugal, while Belgium produced an impressive 4-1 win over United States. Spain have combined discipline, defending with fluent attacking football, and will once again rely on their young star and midfield control. Belgium, meanwhile, have looked dangerous going forward and clinical in front of goal. With both teams' impressive form, fans can expect an intense contest between European heavyweights chasing a semi-final berth. So that's all in this special broadcast on the FIFA World Cup. So the battle for glory continues, hoping your favorite team will go ahead in the tournament. So keep watching DD India for all the latest updates on the Football World Cup. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.